We're at the Berkshire with Dr. Sandra Thebaud, and I want to tell you, this restaurant has some of the best sandwiches that I have ever tasted. Dr. Sandra Thebaud, author of The Art of Loving Life. Sandra, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a psychologist. I started off as a Navy psychologist, and that's pretty much how I got my introduction into stress management, really. They said that I was going to start teaching stress management to the medical staff, and I thought, well, I don't know anything about stress management. I go shopping and I go drinking on the weekends. So I learned about stress management, taught it to the medical staff, and was asked to do it again, and then started realizing that a lot of my clients had a lot of issues dealing more with stress than mental illness. And so I started teaching stress management, and 17 years later, I am still in the stress management business.
That's great. I had the good fortune of reading your book.
Awesome.
I really enjoyed it. There's one thing in particular that really struck me as different. I've read a lot about stress management. I've even taught it myself. But this was so new to me, this idea of how you approach meditation.
Yes.
Would you share that with us a little bit?
That is very different, because a lot of people get intimidated by meditation and think, oh, I have to blank out my mind, or I can't really meditate. I've tried it before and my mind starts to wander, and then they get down on themselves. And it really is about just focusing and letting go at the same time. It's kind of interesting to do it. So I use an analogy of, pretend you're sitting in a coffee shop, and just like you see people walking past during the window, you let your thoughts go past. And I find that a lot of people find that a lot easier to practice, and what's really interesting is when I've done this with groups, I've had people have some really serious aha moments. And I've experienced those aha moments too. It's really kind of profound. You just enter into this different state of really getting a deep understanding of who you are, which was so much more than just your body and your mind and who the society thinks you are. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's so different. I think when I've been taught meditation, it's been clear everything out of your mind. I've never been able to have nothing happen in my mind.
It's rare. I mean, I think some of the people who say they can do that are lying.
And I think some of the people who say they're doing that, they really mean that, but it really impacts the rest of who they are and how they behave.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I believe that. I don't think there's anything going on right now. So, I know that what you hear in your seminars is confidential, and you keep it confidential. Is there anything you can share us as far as those aha moments?
Well, one of them, the biggest ones come with the meditation. But the other ones come because unlike in my book, I do in my workshops address a lot of myths that people are holding that keep them from really understanding that they are experiencing stress, or make them experience stress even worse than they need to. And one of those is that, well, I'll share a story that one day I was bringing food over to a friend because she had just had surgery, so she wouldn't have to worry about cooking for her family. And she asked me how I was doing, and I said, oh my God, I'm feeling so stressed. And she said, how can you be stressed? You teach stress management. And that is the #1 myth, is people think that it's possible to be stress-free.
Oh, right. That's the goal.
Yes. And it's an impossible goal, and you're making your life harder for yourself if that is really the goal, whether that's a conscious goal or an unconscious goal. And worse if it's an unconscious goal, because you're setting yourself up to be even more frustrated by just the daily demands of life. And if you could just understand that life comes with stress, then the little things that come along stay little.
Sure. The book is called The Art of Loving Life. And Sandra, how can we get this?
It's available on Amazon.com.
Great. And what if someone wanted to book you for an event or for a stress management class?
Well, I have a website, and it's www.paramountTransitions.com. And I could also be found on Facebook and Twitter. I do put out articles on stress management several times a week, so you can either book me for a workshop for your company and get free articles on social networks.
Great. I will also put Sandra's information to her website up on GetSmartZinc.com. Thank you. So what did you get there?
Kobe sliders.
That looks awesome.
Yeah.
They do look awesome.
Kobe beef,
Very
onions,
pretty.
cheddar.
Okay.
It's like with side salad. What about you?
This is that apple brie with arugula and chicken. It is my favorite sandwich.
It's really cool. I love sweet potato fries. That's awesome.
What'd you get?
I got the green chili. I'm hoping it's really spicy because I like spicy foods.
And they work together in this.
That's the Kobe beef slider. Let me get a look at the bite. Oh yeah, that looks good. Tell me a little bit about the soup.
It's delicious. And if you like a kick, this one's got it.
Great, great. And we already know that the sweet potato fries are excellent and that the apple brie sandwich is to die for.